Are we out there? Are we live? I know we are because I see it says it's live.
We are live. I
Yeah,
think
I just don't have my phone on me. This is like a first where it's not in an arm's length. Imagine if you didn't have your phone next to your left hip or right hip. How crazy do people go now?
is weird. You can let the VIPs in. We are live. What's going on? Facebook. How is everybody doing? Hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Today's going to be a good one.
Yeah. So we're streaming live right now. So if you guys are in Facebook land, you're on one of our pages, our groups, the Crusader Nation, the GSD. We're even streaming this live to YouTube. So wherever you are, if you're here live, hashtag live. If you are here on the replay, hashtag replay. And today is going to be a really important one. And probably one of the most important ones that a lot of people are going to hear. And it may not be relevant like today, but it'll probably be relevant maybe in a week or tomorrow or next month. I don't know, because you guys are all social media marketers. You guys are all growing your businesses. And one of the most effective ways to get strangers to know, like, love, and trust you and buy your shit is through paid ads. And Cody's going to break down like our insider stuff. Cause I mean, nothing beats experience because we can always learn shit. We can YouTube stuff. We can buy a $37 masterclass, but you can't buy the experience of somebody who's run like millions upon millions of dollars and already bought the mistakes from not only on our dime, but the education we've got, but also all across the multiple accounts. So there's nuances based on industry. There's just so much like different ways of variables that you can be running ads. Sorry, there's kids screaming in the background. So I almost said, shut the fuck up, but they're kids. But anyways, that's what we're going to be giving you guys today. So it's important. So with you guys, if you guys can help me, hey, can you guys so if you guys can help me get this to reach more people, if you guys could take 1 second and go to the group, drop an emoji, drop a fire, drop a comment, just so we can get more people to see this. The more people that see this, the more people we can help. And that's what the goal is, to get this distributed with Facebook's algorithm, because it's going to only reach a small percentage, but with your help, it'll reach a lot more. Is that cool with you guys? Drop a 1 in the chat if that's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's continue. All right. So Cody, you kind of dial into the topic. This is your expertise, and
Yeah.
be along for the ride.
So, guys, what we're going to be talking about today, guys, we have a lot of clients, and a lot of times they often say before we work together that their shit is a disorganized mess, that they run certain campaigns or they take certain swings of the bat or they've tried other shit and either it's failed or it worked for a little bit and then it didn't come back together. And it really doesn't glue together. It's not something that's consistently growing, scalable, and a process that creates predictability, especially when they're doing paid traffic. So if you've been wondering for not only yourself but for your clients why you can't seem to nail that consistent revenue generating campaigns, right? You get 1 or 2 ad campaigns that might work for a client, or you've rolled out something for yourself and it's kind of produced some results, but it hasn't been able to really be that home run, then today's going to be really, really good for you guys. Okay. So in the last few months, with 3 different things, right, we've been able to do. One was a coach that we took to the first $400,000 a month. 2 was a agency that we managed to get from 20K up to about $80,000 per month. And another was another coach who we had their first $200,000 a month with us using the strategies that I'm going to lay out today. So specifically what we did, the exact campaign types we did at the beginning phase, and then what we did in the secondary phase, and then what we did in the third phase, and how all of those different things functioned together to create success and to create that predictability that, in my opinion, is really severely lacking in a lot of what's been going on for a lot of people's campaigns, not only for themselves, but for their clients. So if you think that that is worth looking into, drop us a fire emoji in the comments on Facebook and in the chat if you're here with us in the VIPs, guys. And if you want to be sitting in this session with us, if you didn't know this, these are what we call our Diamond Club, our VIP people. They get to sit in here live with us on the calls. So they get to sit here and interact with us. And then at the end of these calls, every week, they get a private VIP session where they get to ask all their questions. They get the answers to all their questions. We go a lot more in depth with them, and they get a bunch of assets and all that kind of goody shit. on top of it. So if you want to do that, we're running a holiday promo right now where you actually get to join for just $7 for the first month. And then it's $47 a month after that. We also just rolled out a SaaS course for no reason other than it was Christmas and I wanted to give them a gift. And it's a pretty freaking baller on top of the Agency Foundations 2.0 course that they got. And if they pay attention in the next couple of days, they'll be getting more presents because it's the holiday spirit. So if you aren't in here yet, drop a hashtag VIP and my team will get you in so that you make sure you don't miss out on the VIP session or all of the goodies afterwards. So today, guys, what we're going to be specifically talking about is something called, I can't share my screen. Rahul, if you're out there, come back. Give me screen share ability. Please and thank you. But in the meantime, guys, we're going to be talking about our rapid fire testing scary ads process. All right. That's what the name of this process is going to be. And again, it is the exact methodology that we used in the recent last 3 months or so to hit those 3 metrics. First, $400,000 a month for a coach, a $200,000 a month for a coach, and an $80,000 month for one of our agency students. All of that on top of, I think we just launched some soap ads a week ago or so for one of our GST students, and they were getting $30 booked calls. And so that kind of shit can really help you level up your game. So I've got stuff to show you, but until Rahul manages to come back to the room, I literally can't. So I'm just going to talk verbally and you're all going to stare at my face while I do it. So who here actually out there in Facebook land or here in the VIP has actually seen me or watched anything to do with soap ads before? You recognize that term. Scary offer application ads. This is brand new information for everybody, or have you seen it before? So let's put a 1 in the chat if you've seen it before, a 2 in the chat if you've never heard it. Perfect. Good. So mostly this is going to be fresh information. So what we do with the scary offer, okay, specifically the scary offer is the linchpin, the starting point of this conversation, right? So I want to go through a few things since I can't share my screen. Rahul, come back to your room. And since I can't share my screen, I'm going to go over a few pain points and the reasoning why most of these coaches, when we come to them, right, why they're stuck, right? And so a lot of them are stuck in different areas. So for instance, we've got the person that we helped get their first $200,000 a month. They were at sub 100K a month for a while, a long time. And what happened was specifically they weren't testing individual variables. They didn't have a cohesive structure, right? Anybody here read, what is that book called? What is that book called? Ready, Fire, Aim. That's the book. Anybody here read that book? Drop a 1 in the chat or a 1 in the comments if you've read Ready, Fire, Aim before. Let's check this out. So we got 1. Oh yeah, we got a bunch of you guys. Cool. Perfect. Good. If you haven't read that book, I highly recommend it because I'm going to be mentioning something right now. So it's called the optimal selling strategy for a business, right? So if your business has an optimal selling strategy and you know what that is, meaning what is where are your audience? Where are they? The people that are going to be buyers for you, the low ticket, the high ticket, all of that shit, those specific individuals, where are they? Where are your best buyers located? 2, what are the products that are going to sell best? Right. And then 3, how do I convince them to buy? Right. So in a reference for us, for this coach specifically, he'd been trying to transition away from a group and a setter process. And he'd been trying he'd been taking a bunch of these sales courses. So he had some sales guys and he was trying to do calls and all this other shit. He was letting, what I call shiny object syndrome take over his life. So specifically, he wasn't able to focus on one thing. When we look at the data, and he was implementing HighROS, so we had a really good look at what was actually working and not working. We saw 2 things. 1, in a limited testing phase of YouTube, there was a lot more of his best clients on YouTube than he thought there was. And 2, his biggest revenue generating asset was his Facebook group, the one thing that he was trying to honestly completely get away from. And so what we did was we shifted back towards that. So you've got some setters at work, but they're no good at calling. They're really good at setting in the DMs, but they're no good at calling. Perfect. So we need to fix that. So now we know the strengths of your team and we know your optimal selling strategy, right? Now, this other coach that we did that we had a big month for was the same kind of thing. What happened was we get in there and they've been stuck around. I think we got them to 400 from 150, I think was where they were, 150K a month. We got them up to 400. And they were the same thing. They had a really good setter team in place, like absolute killers, but they weren't using their optimal selling strategy to enhance what was already working with that team. They were trying to switch it up, constantly doing a new thing. And so what we did with them was we implemented an 80-20 rule, meaning, okay, you guys stop testing shit all the time. We have to be consistently scaling with 80% of your marketing budget towards the thing that's working, towards your optimal selling strategy. And then the 20% can be the ongoing testing. And why this is so important and why I'm bringing this up first is because with what we're doing is we're implementing 3 phases, right? I brought this up at the beginning. This is the strategy that we're using to consistently through our agency be able to scale these businesses up, right? Phase 1 is about creating an offer that's going to be the thing, the linchpin, the optimal selling strategy. You got to figure out what that is, and you have to be able to rapidly test different offers and assets to find the things that are going to properly work. So yeah, I'm going to give Rahul a quick call because now there's people in the waiting room too. So bear with me 1 second while I send a text. Technical difficulties, real life difficulties, and we'll get this going. Perfect. All right, I'll be back. And so what we're doing is rapid fire testing methodology, which is where we test individual variables. And I'm going to show you guys what each one of those individual pieces look like. And we're layering that on top of the SOAP ads. And SOAP ads stand for, hey, round of applause for Rahul, everybody. He made it back. Perfect. All right. And he came back and he literally just let people in the waiting room. Dude, he didn't even give me the screen. God damn it. Okay, well, tech difficulties, fun guys, fun time, fun time. So what we're going to be doing now, guys, please mute yourselves out because I do not even think, yeah, I can't. I literally can't. Hold on. I'm going to steal host back. There we go. Cool. So, all right, now finally, cool. Let's go over here. Let's talk about it. So we're talking about the scary offer application process. All right. So we're doing this and we're using it with rapid fire testing. So it's really, really simple ads. Okay. What are we doing with phase number 1? We're creating a control ad. All right. What is a control ad? So if we're taking this at its core concept, phase 1, right, for what we're doing with these ads is we need to find our optimal selling strategy, and we need to find our winning offer. Okay, so how do we do that? Well, we take a look at the strengths of our team, and then we launch SOAP ads, launch rapid fire testing using SOAP ads. That's phase 1. The primary thing we want to get out of this is this, and so that we can eventually use it to enhance our optimal selling strategy up here. So what we're doing is we're taking a control ad, and the control ad, what is a control ad? It's literally just a statement of the offer. So if you're an agency that's working with like dentists, right? And your offer is, I help you get an additional 15 guaranteed new high ticket or Invisalign patients every 30 days, right? That's a scary offer, boom, right? Literally your ad, your control ad, the image that goes with the control ad and everything else is just going to be that. It's literally just going to be a repetition of that offer. Are you, or attention dentists, would you like to have an additional 15 guaranteed brand new high ticket Invisalign clients every 30 days added to your calendar? Click here to claim this offer in your and write off your exclusive area now before it's gone. And that's literally it, right? Because the strength of the offer is what we're just testing. We know it's going to be a thing. Cool. So we go through phase 1. We say, okay, audiences, 1 basic ad per audience for this round of testing. So what we're doing with rapid fire testing is we're isolating variables, right? Too many people, a lot of people, this is number 1 thing I see, honestly, when I go into other people's ad accounts, when I'm running other people's marketing departments, when I'm training other people, and I go into their ad accounts and it's just spray and pray shit everywhere. There's like 5, 6 to 10 audiences. There's a dozen ads in each one. And they're like, well, some of the shit's working, some of it's not. I'm like, how's that? What are you learning from that? Right. And here's the problem that comes from that. It's like, okay, cool. If that ad works, you're like, oh, that ad works. But what worked? The offer, the headline, the image, the video, the landing page, the lead form. What the hell actually works? You don't know. You're guessing. Right. And so what ends up happening is eventually, as all good ads do and good creatives do, that will burn out. It's going to fatigue. It's going to have an issue, right? And then when you have to go and replace it, you have to do it all over again. You're just back to the drawing board. You're creating a bunch of images. You're creating a bunch of text. You're creating a bunch of stuff. And you're just like, okay, put it all out there again and see what works this time. Whittle it all down till I have a few winners and then we're good again. The purpose of this, right? The purpose of utilizing this is so that we can isolate individual assets and variables and learn. So that the next time we go to launch an ad, we can use the winning ad as the starting base, the control ad, and do it all again. We can make slight tweaks to things when we know what's winning. When we have a winning audience and a winning offer, oftentimes all we have to do is swap out the creative, meaning the image or the video, and you don't even have to touch the rest of the stuff because it's already working. You're putting the right offer in front of the right people, and everything else is just a refresh so that you can kind of get it in front of them a little bit better. Makes life a lot easier. And how it goes again, round one, audiences, control ad in 4 or 5 different audiences. So what's the variable? The only thing that's different is the audiences. Then we whittle it down, right? We go ahead and we take it to the point where it's okay. We let ourselves do the testing. We wait 3 days, clear distinction. Yes, finally. Okay, cool. Meaning, do I have an actual real distinction I can see, right, between the different audiences? Cool. Once we do, we shut a couple of them off. We have our winners and we move on to the next round. Optimize, find our best ones, move on. Round 2, we go offers. Cool. Create 3 to 4 different hooks and offers. Leave your control ad from the beginning and make sure all of these new ads, you're going to duplicate the ad and change the offer to 3 or 4 different ones. And you're going to put all of those same ads in each of the audiences, right? So now what's the new variable we're testing? Only hooks and offers. We already know the audiences are winners. We already have the control ads from before. The only new variable we've introduced, right? Offers. And so we're learning step by step. Again, wait, control, boom, okay, and then creatives. So now, actually, let me stop right there, guys, first before I go any further. So this is the basic point of phase 1, right? We get through that and we get our base winners. And the point of this is we're using SOAP ads, okay? And again, what are SOAP ads? What are we doing to do SOAP ads? So the scary offer application process, right, is what these ads stand for. So what are we doing? We have a basic control ad, right? Basic control ad built on lead forms, right? All this is that. The thank you page is a calendar. Goes to high level or your CRM, sends a database reactivation text like immediately. It's just an immediate database reactivation text. It's just a repetition of the offer, right? And then goes into long-term nurture or gets nurtured by setters, right? But the whole purpose of this is just for phase 1. And why do we do that? Because I don't want you guys spending your whole lives trying to build a nice fancy landing page, right? I came into a lot of these other programs, these ones that we scaled, these ones that we were able to finally break through from what they were doing to where they needed to go. And a lot of their issues was they were spending so much of their resources building shit out that they didn't even know if it was going to work or not. Every new campaign they were testing, they build out a whole new landing page, a whole new email sequence, all of this shit before you even know if it's actually going to work or not. So you're just spending and spending and spending and spraying and all of this shit. This way, the way that we're doing it right here for phase 1, because lead forms are just so damn easy to build, right? They're so easy to create and you can just hit all of these. It makes so much sense to just rapid fire test this until you have some offers and some creative that fucking works before you go shoot a VSL, before you go make a giant landing page, build the perfect text message, write all these fucking emails, right? You want to get all of this shit that's supposed to enhance something that already works. You don't want to spend your time working on that until it's ready. Most of the time when you're doing this kind of shit, literally all that ends up happening is you're procrastinating because you're afraid to launch. Right? The idea of the thing is always, better in your head than it ends up being. It's scary to hit that go button because when you hit that go button, probably it might fail. And you don't want it to fail. Right? And so that's where we need to be like, okay, so this allows us to rapid fire test a shit ton of this all at once. This is what allows us to get to the offers that work, that are worth us putting our time into. Okay? So that's phase 1. So the long-winded approach is what I just gave you. The quick one's what I'm about to say right now. Again, number one, you do a complete audit and review of the strengths and weaknesses of the client or yourself. Then we do phase one ads, which is going to be using that optimal selling strategy, create a control ad, find our winning offer through rapid fire testing using SOAP ads. Is everybody clear on not only the how, which I went pretty in depth on here, but the why we're doing that specifically for this first phase, and the how this can be kind of like a fucking superpower trampoline fucking rocket launch pad for the rest of what you would go do after that. Does that make sense, guys? Drop me out in Facebook land, drop a 1 in the comments. And if you're here with me in the VIP room, drop a 1, and feel free to drop your questions inside the chat as well if anything's popping up for you guys. Otherwise, I'll move on to phase 2. The definition of SOAP ad, scary offer application process. Yeah, so that is really what this is. Basically, basic control ad built on lead forms. Thank you pages of calendar. Goes to the CRM, sends an automated DR, which is database reactivation text of the offer, and then goes to a long-term nurture sequence or is nurtured by setters. Very simple ad campaign designed specifically to get us to our winning offers that we're then going to be willing to spend time on actually putting into use. Make sense? Yes, no, maybe so. Good. Thumbs up, thumbs down, sideways. Yeah, good, cool. Perfect. So this led us to phase 2. Now, phase 2 is where we take what was winning, and now we start to decide on what we're going to do next. So for these guys specifically, what they really needed was 2 things. They wanted to continue to build their list, and they needed more sales calls for their closers. I mean, whoa, who's surprised there, right? That's pretty much the problem of every single person who has ever had a closer, because most of them want to be filled up all day, every day with their shit. So they needed more sales calls. So what does that mean? Well, the easy way to do that is to create a direct booking funnel, meaning a VSL, short little power offer VSL, we call them, usually anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes max. The days of the 2-hour webinar really are coming to an end. We have goldfish brains, and so we want to be able to do that. So why we did the first part was to get the offers that I'm willing to spend all this time designing, shooting VSLs for, then designing and testing landing pages for, right? We want to have the right thing. So if you've done the rapid fire testing process correctly, right? You've done the SOAP ads process correctly. What ends up happening is now you've got 2 to 3 different offers that are crushing it. You're getting good lead cost, maybe even good call booking costs on the back end. And now you can take that and you go and you build out this style of a page where you put a scary offer on the top. Step 1, here's how we do it. And you just shoot a VSL. Step 2, put your calendar down below it so they can book directly into the sales team calendar, and then social proof that you have down below. Frictionless call booking VSL style funnel, right? So what are we doing right here? We're taking the shit we learned in phase 1. If this will ever let me click on the button, there we go, right? We'll erase all these lines. And we're going to phase 2. So phase 2, what are we doing? We're taking our building assets to work with the strengths of your company or your client. Right? What does that mean? In this situation, it meant using the winning offer from phase 1. So in this situation, that meant they have strong sales team, had strong sales teams, but needed more calls. So B, we took winning offers, shot VSLs, power offer VSLs, and I think it was the Power Offer thing, to give credit where that name comes from. It's from Joel Irwin. So Power Offer VSL is where it's sandwiched in an offer, VSL, then an offer, right? Remember, we're trying to say people have goldfish brains all the time. So you've literally, most of the time, they click on an ad, they're going to land on your landing page. The offer that they clicked on the ad for better be right fucking there. Like, it's got to be the headline, should be the offer, and then it should say step one, watch this video on how we're going to do it. And then right away at the beginning of the VSL, it should again iterate your offer and then how you do it, and then your offer again. We're not trying to lose them. We're not trying to distract them. It should be frictionless. Like, they're here to take this action. They're here to probably take you up on whatever the hell your ad said, right? So we don't want to distract them from that. So shoot the Power Offer VSL, built the DBO funnels, plus the follow-ups. The beautiful thing is now there's not a lot of testing with this. It should work. I would say out of all the times we've done this, 80% of the time, because we did phase one and we have the winning offers, these cost per calls come in very well. We have a very nice cost per call because it's based on the data, right, from phase one. It's based on the learning we did in that first part. So now what we want to do, right, and again, drop a 1 in the chat or a 1 in the comments out there in Facebook land if it's making sense to you guys, if this is not confusing, and if you're following me, and just to know you guys are fucking awake, because I don't want to talk to myself all day. All right, we got some ones.
Yeah, like, and while we're doing that, like, based on what I said at the beginning of this, I want to get the algorithm going on the Facebook land. So you guys live streaming, just drop where you're tuning in from right now, and also drop what you do and who you serve. So number one will be, I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, for example. I have a marketing agency. I serve the Chiro niche, just so we know. Okay. Because this strategy not only will work with getting you guys also the leads that you deserve, that you want to, if you're going to be exploring running a very like fluid, proven funnel style that will warm up your clients and get complete strangers to be confident to want to connect with you. And also, not only that, it'll give you an idea that you can present to your own clients. Because what we get paid for is not just pushing buttons and running media. What we get paid for is the strategy and the outcomes that we deliver. That's how we acquire the clients. How we keep the clients is getting the result. And back to you, Cody.
Perfect. So now repetition. Phase one, right? Test, rapid fire test everything so that we can get some shit that actually fucking works. Build it in the least friction way possible. The data, right? For phase one, it's based on the learning we did. Well, I'm hearing myself.
Yeah, that was my bad. Sorry, I'm in the live stream too.
We're using the most simplistic form of a campaign build, right? That takes the least amount of time to do it and to adjust it, more importantly, right? To be able to test as much as we can to get to that winning thing. And we're taking that winning thing, that nugget, that core piece of all the rest of that we'll do, and we're going to then put in all the fucking effort, right? To now build out VSLs, direct booking funnels, be able to build out follow-up sequences, get our setters on this shit. We're creating the thing that we're now able to create solid foundation to build on, right? Now we're building on shit that's not just going to break as we start to put more and more spend to it and be able to make that work. Phase three now is about scaling and enhancing that. And a big part of this, right? A big part of this is being able to find a way to monetize the people who don't close right away. I want to highlight this because this is a huge fucking issue, in my opinion, for a lot of the people, especially once you hit a certain level, right? So I run into a lot of people who are, they just, you're chasing the original people. You're chasing front end sales. So everything, the entire success of your ad campaign relies on you putting $1 into the machine and the machine spitting out $2 back to you. Right. And it's easy to sit here and be like, oh, well, that's how it works, Cody. And it might, a lot of the campaigns we run do spit out money like that, but not forever. And I've never seen more stress on a situation than when there's not a team and a monetizable way to take those people that you're generating behind you and turn them into money. Right. I mean, Russell Brunson, you guys all know Russell Brunson talks all the time about break even on your ads, and then everything else behind you, you'll make money on. Right. And that's honestly the best way to look at it. So we make a lot of you guys probably came from emails. You guys that are sitting right here on our VIP live, sitting here right now, probably bought in through an email from some other thing that you've opted into. Could have been a year ago. We've had a lot of people through our GSD program who bought into the bigger program, who paid like $7 for some LinkedIn course that we ran like 2 years ago, right? And it's that nurturing process that allows you to truly be successful. Because if you're not constantly looking at what did the lead I got today buy, but you're looking at the overall structure and how much you're monetizing the people who are organic now, but even those organic people came from ads originally, right? Then you know the whole system is working in synergy. You know that you can continue to invest, continue to scale, right? Create that functionality so that it works. So that's why phase 3 is always taking what you've learned along the way and enhancing it through a middle of funnel structure. So we're monetizing people who don't close right away. We're doing that through groups for these specific use cases, the 3 that I mentioned, the coach that we took to their first 200K month, the coach that we took to their first $400,000 month, and the agency that we took from 20K up to 80K a month, right? All 3 of those, the middle of funnel was 2 things. It was Facebook group, right? And how did we monetize that? We did it through group growth ads to be able to put even more people into it. So these are both retargeting and cold. So retargeting the other people and also cold to fill that up. And then events. So this is masterclasses weekly or masterclasses monthly that monetize them. And now what we're rolling into a few of them is similar to what we're doing right here, which is a low ticket premium group, right? And this is something we're rolling out with some of our coaching clients because it works really well. I mean, you guys have seen us roll it out for ourselves through the Diamond Club. We've rolled it out for a few other people as well, because again, this is a way to monetize, right? The people who aren't closing right away, but still want a little bit more access. The second part, right, is emails plus database reactivation texts. If you guys aren't using, who in here or who out there in Facebook land uses high level currently to do database reactivation? Drop a DR in the chat or a DR in the comments down below the Facebook video. Will says DR. Rob says, I only know how to hit 1 because you've told me to hit 1 too many times in my life, so I understand. Rick is going to help me. Jen says, good. And do you post these after? Yeah. No, you guys get, everybody in the VIP gets there's a list of all the replays specific to the trainings. It's also in the course material. Perfect. Good. GHL Mary says, don't know what that is. Okay. So if you don't know what that is, database reactivation in a general sense, for what I'm referring to right now, is taking a list of past clients. So your past database, plugging it into a system like High Level. And if you don't know what High Level is, there's a whole course on it inside of the course area that you got. So I'll be able to ping you there if you want. And what you do is you take that list, you send a very simple reoffer text. So say you're talking to a realtor, you're working with a realtor, and the realtor is running an ad for like a homes list of like 500K price point. So you'd resend a text that, hey, you were recently looking for your new home around 500K. We just recently had a group of homes that came onto the market under 500K, actually around 450. So if you haven't found your home yet, just hit me back and I'm happy to send it over to you, right? It's like a re-offer text. What you do then is you have them reply back to you, and you call them or text them and book them as an appointment that way. Preferably call them, because, just don't be afraid of the phones and you'll be able to get more shit done. But you can also just set them directly in. And High Level is basically a superpower for that. So if anybody out there doesn't know what High Level is and wants to learn more about what I just said, drop a GHL in the comments under the video or in here in the chat, and we'll help you out a little bit more, because yeah, you should be making that shit rock out. Yeah, so emails and database reactivation text. This kind of shit is how we monetize the people behind us, how we actually create money from the lists that we've already paid for. So this is the way that you can go in and create a scary offer for a client and be able to use words like, I can guarantee I'll get you your next 10 clients without spending a single dime on ads. Because now you have this superpower. Because now you can take the list that they already had and generate clients, generate money, generate funds without actually having to pay more money for more ads because they've already got a list that didn't work out. This is a way that you can go out there and say to people, hey, you're always complaining about how shitty the leads are and that 4 or 5 marketing agencies has failed you. Well, how about I flip all that shit around on you and turn all their shit into gold? Work for you, right?
The cool part about this is that you could charge any way you want because it's a very simple like offer and service. And if you've proven it in like, let's say real estate, chiro, dentistry, whatever it is that you guys specialize in, you do it once, it's repeatable. It's copy paste from there. Right. Super duper simple. And it's high value too. So you can either charge for it, you can do it as complimentary to earn their long-term business. You could do a profit share where it's like, hey, for every person I bring in, how about we split 50-50 on the profits? And if they say yes, awesome. Then you have to have a way to track it, whether the honesty policy or otherwise. And then the second way is like, hey, that seems like you guys will make way too much money. Then you're set up for a perfect conversation saying, no, no problem. Why don't you sign up for our retainer based services so you can make the lion's share? So it's like puts us in a good position no matter what we do with a very, very simple DBR, database reactivation.
Cool. Perfect, guys. All right. So specifically, because we'll get into more of these questions, guys, when we do the VIP session. And again, shameless plug, if anybody out there in GSD group land wants to join the VIP session, we'll probably be starting that up in about 5 minutes or so. You want to get your questions answered, or you got more shit you want to talk to us face to face about, drop a hashtag VIP down in the comments and we'll be happy to hit you up. But specifically, guys, this is the way. So what did we do recently? I'm gonna go over these results again because I want you guys to hear this shit. With the coach, we got a $200,000 month. With another coach, we let them hit a $400,000 month. And with an agency, we took them from 20 to 80K using this specific strategy in the last 3 to 4 months. Okay. Who here, whether you're on the live with us or you're out there in Facebook land, you can drop a hashtag GSD, would love to be able to hit those kind of numbers. Would be absolutely life-changing for you. You can also say like a Yanni face if you think that that's nothing. That's cool too, guys. That's fine. Totally understand. It's the way it works sometimes, right? GSD, 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 good. So I want to make sure, when you guys are saying stuff like this, when you go and you say, yes, that's life-changing to me. Those are the kind of results I want to get. That's the kind of shit that I want to do. I really hope that what you're doing is paying attention, right? Because what you need to be doing along the way, along with what we've been doing a lot of the last few weeks, right? We teach you guys how to create money from your profiles. Well, when you create money from your profiles, you're also validating offers, and that money can then go towards lighting your shit on fire by using these types of ad campaigns. Okay. This exact strategy is what we've used time and time and time again. We use this for much smaller people than that too, right? I told you one of our newer GSD students, like just last week, launched their soap ads. They're getting about $30 booked calls in phase 1 just by having done the rapid fire testing, right? So it's this kind of shit can work for people who are a lot smaller than the results that I'm throwing out there in front of you for that same reason, because it's doing the testing. You're testing your variables so that you can then optimally use your budget for the next steps. Decide on your strengths. What can you do? I don't have a team, but I have time. Right? So, okay, cool. Then you're going to spend your time where? What are you best at? Are you best at cold calling warm leads? Are you best at DMing them, texting them? How do you best monetize the opportunities that are coming to you? Phase 1 is always phase 1, but phase 2 and phase 3 rely on you knowing where can you best allocate your personal resources? Where can you best make this work? Because you're going to take what you learn and you're going to build the right shit from it and make it go from there. Make sense, guys? Good? Cool. Cool. All right, guys. So out there in Facebook land, a couple more things. One, if you want to join the VIP, I already told you 40 times, hashtag VIP, and we can get you in here. Two, if there is anybody out there that thinks that they are in the place where having somebody help them design and launch this ad strategy for them, whether you're an agency or a coaching program, say something in the chat. I don't know. What would we make the thing like hashtag rapid fire testing, RFT, put rapid fire or something in the chat. I'll personally reach out to you and we'll do a quick little, I call it an audit, right? We don't do the launches for ads unless you're absolutely fucking 100% ready for it. And I can help you, guide where you would need to get to when that would be the case specifically. But if you think you might be in a place for it and you're down and you want to just check that out and you want to hop on and see if we can help you design and launch some ads to scale to that next level for yourself, drop a rapid fire testing or a hashtag RFT in the comments on Facebook. And like I said, I'll personally reach out. I'll monitor the chat or the comments for the next little bit. See if there's anybody that wants to get hooked up with that. We can take a look at your stuff. Maybe we can implement this for you and get you those kind of similar results. Otherwise, I think we'll wrap it for now and head over to the VIP room. Rahul, is there anything that you wanted to tack on before we end the live stream today?
No, I just dropped the VIP link for those of you guys that are streaming in. So if you want to hop in, you'll get it for $7. You can hop on with us every single week. It's 4 master classes every single month, barring any vacations or national holidays. But yeah, you get access to a lot of shit, right? I mean, these guys are all aware of what we do. So that is it. We'll keep it brief. I know we're coming into the new year, so let's jump into the VIP sesh.
Perfect. Again, guys out there, if you want us to implement that for you, it's rapid fire testing or hashtag RFT in the comments. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next week. Get some shit done. Have a great rest of your day. And everybody in here, stay for the VIP session.